Okay, this is homework for Friday, April 15th. This is for people who have homework on Friday. It means you didn't pass the linear assessment. So this is the second Friday homework assignment you've had. You need to try to complete it on your own, and you're just here checking your answers. Again, on Wednesdays, you have the chance to retake the test to see if you can pass and stop taking Friday homework. So the first thing I do is I read the situation, and we have Virgil wants to start a penguin zoo. He already has some penguins but collects more each month. So here's the table that shows how many penguins Virgil has per month, and number one asks you to graph it. So I decided on my graph to count by twos, and make sure you label the x-axis as months, and then I counted by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And on the y-axis I labeled it penguins, and I numbered by fives, but technically I'm labeling by 10. So this one's 5, and then 10, 15, 20, and so on. So now all I have to do is graph my points using my table. So at 3:17, so 3 is about right here, and 17, if that's 15, 17 will be right there. It's hard to get it exact on here. And then at 5:23 will be about here. And then 10:38 and 13:47, 14:50. That one needs to be over a little bit. And 20:68. Okay, now I put in my line. I know my dots aren't perfectly in a row, but it's because I had to guess on some of my points. Okay, number two asks you to make an equation. So I always use the table. I never use the graph to make the equation. I always use the table. And I put in my carets. From 17 to 23 is 6. From 23 to 38 is 15. From 38 to 47 is 9. 47 to 50 is 3. And 50 to 68 is 18. And on my x side, 3 to 5 is 2. 5 to 10 is 5. 10 to 13 is 3. 13 to 14 is 1. And 14 to 20 is 6. Now I need to do some dividing. All of my y carets divided by my x carets. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 1 is 3. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. So that gives me my slope, or my constant rate. So I get to write that into my equation. So notice that it wants you to use P and M. M is the X, which is the months, and P is the Y. And so it would be P equals 3M, and then I need to find my y-intercept by working backwards. So to get from 0 on my x side, I have to subtract 3. And if I'm going backwards 3, that means every time I go back 1, I have to subtract 3 on the y side. But since I'm going back 3, I have to do 3 times 3 to figure out how many I'm going back. So 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to subtract 9 on the y side. 17 minus 9 is 8. So my y-intercept is 8. So the equation is P equals 3m plus 8. Okay, number 3 says, what is your slope? Mine was 3. What does the slope mean in terms of his collection? He collects 3 penguins per month. Make sure you have the words per or each. That tells me it's the slope, or the unit rate. What is the y-intercept? That was 8. And what does it mean? It means at 0 months he started with 8 penguins. Okay, number 7 says use the equation, which was P equals 3m plus 8, to find out how many penguins he would have after 32 months. So if it's giving me months, I have to plug that into the m spot, because that's what months represents. So I have P equals 3, and then take away the m, and plug in 32, and plus 8. Now I just solve. This means 3 times 32, which is 96. So I bring everything down, and then 96 plus 8 gives me 104 penguins. So after 32 months, he would have 104 penguins in his penguin zoo. That's a lot of penguins. Okay, number 8, use the equation again, which is P equals 3m plus 8, to see how long it would take Virgil to collect 86, and that's supposed to say penguins, not spiders, sorry. Okay, so again it's giving me penguins, and so I'm going to plug that in for P. I'm going to substitute it in. So I have 86 equals 3m plus 8, and now I subtract 8 on both sides. 86 minus 8 is 78 equals 3m, and then I divide by 3 on both sides. 78 divided by 3 is 26 months. So it would take him 26 months, that's more than 2 years, to get 86 penguins. Okay, I hope you did well and that you're trying to learn this so you can pass the linear assessment. Have a good weekend.